May the peace of the Lord be with you all. Today's Gospel Reflection, August 18th, 2025, Monday.
The children of Israel offended the Lord by serving the Baals, abandoning the Lord, the God of their fathers, who led them out of the land of Egypt. They followed the other gods of the various nations around them, and by their worship of these gods provoked the Lord, because they had thus abandoned him and served Baal and the Ashtaroth. The anger of the Lord flared up against Israel, and he delivered them over to plunderers who despoiled them. He allowed them to fall into the power of their enemies round about, whom they were no longer able to withstand. Whatever they undertook, the Lord turned into disaster for them, as in his warning he had sworn he would do, till they were in great distress, even when the Lord raised up judges to deliver them from the power of their despoilers. They did not listen to their judges, but abandoned themselves to the worship of other gods. They were quick to stray from the way their fathers had taken, and did not follow their example of obedience to the commandments of the Lord. Whenever the Lord raised up judges for them, he would be with the judge, and save them from the power of their enemies as long as the judge lived. It was thus the Lord took pity on their distressful cries of affliction under their oppressors. But when the judge died, they would relapse and do worse than their ancestors, following other gods in service and worship, relinquishing none of their evil practices or stubborn conduct.
Responsorial Psalm. Remember us, O Lord, as you favor your people. They did not exterminate the peoples, as the Lord had commanded them, but mingled with the nations, and learned their works. Remember us, O Lord, as you favor your people. They served their idols, which became a snare for them. They sacrificed their sons and their daughters to demons. Remember us, O Lord, as you favor your people. They became defiled by their works, and wanton in their crimes. And the Lord grew angry with his people, and abhorred his inheritance. Remember us, O Lord, as you favor your people. Many times did he rescue them, but they embittered him with their counsels. Yet he had regard for their affliction, when he heard their cry. Remember us, O Lord, as you favor your people.
The Holy Gospel according to Matthew. A young man approached Jesus and said, "Teacher, what good must I do to gain eternal life?" He answered him, "Why do you ask me about the good? There is only one who is good. If you wish to enter into life, keep the commandments." He asked him, "Which ones?" And Jesus replied, "You shall not kill. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness. Honor your father and your mother. And you shall love your neighbor as yourself." The young man said to him, "All of these I have observed. What do I still lack?" Jesus said to him, "If you wish to be perfect, go, sell what you have and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come, follow me." When the young man heard this statement, he went away sad, for he had many possessions. The Gospel of the Lord. Reflection. There's a deep longing in the heart of every man and woman. The young man in the Gospel came to Jesus with that same longing. He wanted to know what it would take to gain eternal life. He wasn't reckless or careless. In fact, he had lived a morally upright life and followed the commandments since youth. But Jesus looked beyond the checklist of good deeds and went straight to the one thing holding him back: his attachment to wealth. This young man's story is not just about money. It is about the things we hold on to so tightly that they keep us from fully following God. For him, it was material riches. For others, it might be a career, a relationship, a personal dream, or even a reputation we're afraid to lose. Jesus wasn't trying to deprive him. He was inviting him to something greater, an eternal treasure far beyond what earthly wealth could provide. In our modern world, this struggle is everywhere. Think of a corporate executive who has built an impressive career but feels God calling them to use their skills for a non-profit or mission work. The thought of leaving behind a high salary and prestige feels impossible. Or imagine a young athlete with a promising sports career, but a conviction to turn down endorsement deals that compromise their faith. Each of these choices involves letting go of something valuable in the eyes of the world. in order to embrace something priceless in God's kingdom. What Jesus asked of the rich young man was not simply to give away possessions. It was to let go of what defined his security and identity, and to place that trust in God instead. The tragedy is that the man walked away sad, because he couldn't imagine life without the thing he valued most. He wanted eternal life, but not at the cost of his comfort. We face similar crossroads today. A university student may feel a nudge to serve in ministry, instead of pursuing a high-paying career in their field of study. A business owner may sense God leading them to close on Sundays for worship and family time, even though it means losing sales. A social media influencer might refuse brand partnerships that promote harmful values, sacrificing potential earnings for the sake of integrity. In each case, the question is the same. What are you willing to release so you can fully follow God's call? It's easy to think that surrendering means losing out, but the truth is, God's invitations are always for our ultimate good. When we release what we're clinging to, our hands are finally open to receive something greater. The journey might feel risky, but history and countless testimonies showed that those who choose God over earthly gain find a peace and purpose the world cannot match. This doesn't mean everyone must sell everything they own. The real issue is the heart. God is not opposed to you having wealth, success, or comfort. He's opposed to those things having you. The challenge is to make sure nothing in your life becomes more important than God Himself. Perhaps today you feel that same stirring the young man felt, a sense that God is calling you to step deeper into obedience, even if it costs you something significant. The question is, will you walk away sad, clinging to what you know, or will you step forward in faith toward what God promises? The rich young man had the opportunity to join Jesus' closest circle of followers, but he missed it because he couldn't let go. You have that same opportunity today. Not necessarily to walk dusty roads in Galilee, but to live a life fully surrendered, free from the chains of earthly attachments, and rich in the treasures that last forever. May we have the courage to say yes to God's invitation, even when it asks for our most precious possessions, for in saying yes, we don't just give something up, we gain everything that truly matters.